Great Scott, you are trying to make some fantastical inventions that were similar to those that were sold back into the good old days. And when you make an invention, all of your fellow inventors will then go ahead and give you a commendation on how well they think that your type of invention is. After 3 rounds, you count up your total points and see who the winner is. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab some commendation cards. Everybody's going to get 3. They're going to get 3 good effort and 3 highly recommended cards. So when you have presented all of your inventions in a round, you are going to go ahead and you're going to give a commendation to each of the other inventors. So if you think their stuff was okay, you can give them a good. If you think it was really good, you can give them a highly recommended. Or highly commended, and you will do this every round. When you start the game, you're going to start with 10 cards in your hand. You're going to draw 2 from each of the decks. There is a primary concept, a central concept, and a final concept, and then 2 asset decks. Again, you'll draw 2 cards from each of those, and that will be your starting hand. Now let's take a look at what some of these cards are. This is a primary concept because it has a 1. So this will be an astounding invention. And each of the concepts have 3 different types on them. And I'll flip my paper over there. And see right here, I have a productive one. If we go over here, this is a destructive one. And here we have a transportive. So there are different types of inventions that you can create. And then the assets have 3 different as well. There is animal, mineral, and vegetable. So of course a vegetable would have the leaf here. I don't know what else I have. I just have, there's a mineral. And I don't believe I have an animal in my hand, but I do. I have a donkey. So that would be an animal symbol. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to choose one of these cards to place face down in front of you to begin your invention. So let's say I'm going to pick astounding. So I will go ahead and I'll place astounding down. Now I picked a primary concept number 1. I don't have to. What I could decide to do, if I wanted to really use that donkey, I could put that down instead. Or if I really liked asbestos, because who doesn't like asbestos, I could go ahead and put that down in front of me as well. So I could do any of those cards, but we're going to go ahead and do that. So once everybody has placed a card face down, you're going to flip your card up and announce what you have. I have astounding. Then you're going to go ahead and take your cards and pass them to the next player. Once you have done so, every player is going to have a look at the cards that they have, and they're going to draw 1 card. So they will draw a card from any deck that they wish to. So if they're looking to like, oh, I really don't like any of these assets, I think I need a new asset. So they'll go ahead and draw from either asset deck. You'll draw an asset, dynamite, and they will put it into their hand. Then you will choose another card to put into your invention. And your invention must have one of each of the 5 decks. You must have 1 primary concept, then asset, then a central concept, then another asset, and then a final concept. So let me show you an example of one right here. We have the amazing Anteater Attracting Asparagus Amplifier. So once you have all 5 of your cards out, that is the end of that round. It's not over right there. What you're going to do is now you're going to present your invention to the other inventors. So step right up, ladies and gentlemen, step right up. We have the amazing Anteater Attracting Asparagus Amplifier. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been trying to attract some anteaters lately. You've been using ant hills, and I know, folks, that is not a fun job, trying to collect those little tiny ants, but this is the solution to all of your problems. Ladies and gentlemen, asparagus is the key. And amplifying the asparagus will definitely attract your anteaters. Ladies and gentlemen, this is simply amazing. Step right up, folks. We are taking orders right now. Something similar to that, folks. And then, once you've done that, and everybody has gone ahead and presented their invention, you'll go ahead and look at all of your commendations, and you will see how well you thought that was. If you liked my presentation, you're going to go ahead and give me a highly commended. If you thought, it wasn't so good, or maybe somebody else was just a lot better, you're going to go ahead and give them one of these. You're going to give that face down, and they are not going to look at it until the very end of the game, after 3 rounds. But then you go ahead and score your invention. And scoring is pretty cool. So to score this invention here, we're going to look, first of all, at the value of the cards. Each of the cards has a value. So, Amazing has 2, Anteater has 2, Attracting has 2, Asparagus has 3, and Amplifier only has 1. So 2, 4, 6, and 4 makes 10. So I'm actually going to write that down because I will forget these numbers. Next up, you look at your assets. So these 2 cards right here. If they are the same type of card, you will get a bonus 2 points. Well, we have an animal and we have a vegetable. So those 2 don't match, so we don't get those extra 2 points. Next up is you look at your concepts. If your concepts are of the same type, you will get some bonus points there. So if you have a pair of concepts that match, you're going to get 2 additional points. Or if all 3 of your concepts match, you're going to get 4 points. So we have a, what is this? This is a productive. So we have 3 productive types here. So we're going to get the bonus 4 points. So now we're up to 14. Next up is alliteration. Because a lot of these fantastical inventions were always had some amazing alliteration. And we have some amazing alliteration right here. So everything starts with an A. Everything is alliterated. So you will get 2 points for every pair of alliterations. So you can be like, you have A's over here and C's over here. You can get 2 points per pair. You can get 4 points for a trio. You get 6 points if you have 4 cards that have alliteration, and you get a whopping 8 points if all 5 of your cards have alliteration. Now, this is really, really hard to do because you are playing your cards face up, and your opponents can see what you are going towards, and they might pull a letter. They're like, oh, I have 1 A in my hand. I'm going to use that so they don't get to. Sabotage. But we are able to alliterate this one right here, so we're going to get the 8 bonus points. So that brings up to 22, I believe, if math is correct. 12, carry the 1. Yes, 22. Then you'll go ahead and discard your cards and keep your commendation card. But keep that face down because you're not going to look at it until after the 3rd round. So you go ahead, and I just collect all these up, and you go ahead and just discard them. Everybody draws a new hand of 10 cards, 2 from each pile. And after the end of the game, everybody's going to add up their final scores then look at all of their commendations and add those into their scores and see who the winner is of Great Scott.
This program is part of the Pathological Nerdcasters Network. Find more at pncn.rocks, where all the geeks come to play.
So that is Great Scott. This is a really fun game. This is the type of game that my group really, really loves. I call this almost a performance game because it's not just about playing the cards and trying to get the highest points. It's also about selling something. So you get to do a little bit of acting and improvisation. So this is really, really good for my group. If your group doesn't mind, being on stage temporarily, it's something that, I am generally a really, really shy person, but with my group of friends, I can get into this and I can really get into the theme and to step right up, folks, step right up. This is what we have here for you. It really, really is fun. Unfortunately, I haven't won a game of this yet because all of my friends are people that used to work on medieval fairs, so they really have the advantage with accents and just performance in general. I was never a drama kid. But this is really fun. I totally enjoy this game. If this looks like something that you'll be interested in, a link will be down below for their Kickstarter that is happening very soon. So please check it out. I'm going to have a link down below for the Botched Games podcast. You can definitely check them out. Craig is a pretty cool guy. He does stuff with things, and I don't really know what I'm talking about. And down below, I'm going to have a link to the Botched Games podcast. They're a cool game podcast that is part of the Pathological Nerdcasters Network, as am I. Definitely go over there and check them out. They have some pretty cool recent podcasts about Fantasy Flight games and checking out some of their wares, so definitely check that out. And if you want to follow me, I have all of my links over there off to the side. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hey, there's even a Patreon link, so you can go and help support Cloak and Meeple. My subscribe button is right down below. Make sure you give that a click and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.